Good morning to you.
I'm a consultant. I'm not an analyst.
Okay.
Good morning.
Okay. Noted. Well, it's nice to speak to you this morning. And a few things. First, let's start from the very beginning. The issue of whether a warrant was used or not used, and then the use of the words raid and search. For you, how do they relate?
So now you worry too much, this my brother. Okay, so all state institutions who has been assigned, not just the institutions, but departments and agencies who are assigned with the responsibility of investigating crimes, also have the ability or the mandate to arrest and search. And they could do it simultaneously or intermediately. In that regard, when you go to the National Security Secretariat, I've always been telling people there's nothing called National Security. We call it National Security Secretariat, the office behind the stadium. When you go there, there are various departments. One of the departments there is responsible for investigation. So in relating to the Bank of Ghana's house, they were the ones assigned to do the search and seizure and, if possible, arrest. As part of doing a search, one way of doing it is that we can do a search with warrant or without warrant. When we come without warrant, it means that we are coming on the certificate of emergency. And there are various reasons why crime investigation units can come and search your premises under certificate of emergency. But what they do is that as part of the due diligence, they went for a search warrant. When you go for a search warrant, two things are involved. Either you go for a general search or a specific search. A general search is where we are searching the whole of Radio Good, or specific search is when we say we are searching only the studio. And they will only search when they have something deliberate to pick from your premises. So in the case of the governor, what they did is that one, they went for the search, and when they get to his house, they will do three things. They will announce themselves, they will tell the governor why they are there for the search, and where they are coming from, and they will also tell him the search warrant and show it to him. Because we know that we are searchers and our work should be done in conformity with due procedure, because we could be accused of so many things. Everywhere we are searching, we call it a search spot or the location. We will make sure that the host will be very close to us to observe whatever we are searching so that they can attest to it. Number three, we know that the outcome of our search can also be litigated in court, particularly when there's prosecution on the table. So what we do is that whatever we pick from the search exercise, we will label it, assemble it, collate it, and indicate whatever we are picking for the host who we have searched to attest to the fact that this is what we have picked as a result of the search, and this is where we are taking it to. So, Senor, this is the broad general when it comes to why they went for the search and what search can be done. Now, who are the people who can be searched? People who have come under investigation arena, or people who have come under national security interest, or people who have been perceived to have committed a crime, or people who have anticipated that they are about to commit a crime. And they will search for a crime evidence against such people because prosecution is on the table. So when it comes to search, that is what it is. When it comes to raid is an aggressive word. Raid is when they bounce on you and you haven't done anything wrong, and law enforcement officers or criminals just will cause disturbances and destroy your reputation. Having said that, we also know that because we are in democracy and rule of law is broadly applicable, when hosts who have been searched first that their rights has been abused or privacy has been abused, they can seek redress in court or they can report to the police. So generally, this is what happened with the Bank of Ghana, please.
I see. Quite interesting. So when it comes, and I'm sure you've listened to Alexander Fenyomakin, there are those who are questioning his locus. Why? In what capacity was he speaking?
You and I know that he, number one, he is not the host. And I've just explained that the host, because of privacy laws and human rights, the host can seek redress. And I just told you that when we are searching, because we know we can be accused and the outcome of our work can be litigated in court, we'll make sure the host is closer to where we are. In fact, all the searches I have led when I was working at the BNI, I will not allow you to move 1 inch. You will be part of us as part of the search. And if we are searching 10 rooms, every room will go, you will go with us. That is when you are available, because we can search when you are not available. What people don't know is that when you are traveling from the US to Ghana, your bag that you have checked in, when you reach Kotoka, sometimes American immigration or custom can open the bag, destroy the zip, and search inside the bag. And they will leave a note in there to say that they are the one who searched your bag. So that when you reach Kotoka and you want to beat up everybody, you get to know that, hey, this search was done by legitimate people in your absence. In this particular case, the governor was in the house. So the question we are asking is that, where was he when the search was going on? And how did he know the searchers were coming? That he left money on the bed. Is it a normal practice? Was the money there to coerce the searchers, or to bribe them, or to compromise them? Having said all this, when he felt his money had gotten missing, the fact that there were searchers in the house, we don't even know the time the search took place, how long, and the time he realized the money got lost. He can seek redress at the court or the police station. But the politician we are talking about, before Okujeto Abrokwa's vetting, he went on air publicly, held a press conference, and showed lies and falsehood against Okujeto Abrokwa and the wife. When Okujeto got to the vetting, if you remember, the chairman of the vetting committee apologized, and he himself apologized. I think he's breaching the parliamentary privileges, and many of the things he said on air, if it is proven that it is not right and it is not true that the guys actually stole money, then there has to be sanctioning and there has to be consequences. On the other hand, if it is true that the searchers took that money, and they also know that there will be sanctioning and there will be accountability.
Then there are words that are being used now, because there are many people who are reporting that per their sources within national security, it has been indicated to them that the reason they were there were to dismantle what has been described as spying devices. That there was a bag. The governor had actually, the former governor had actually has a device at the Bank of Ghana, which is used to monitor things from there in his house. That was why they were there. What do you make of that suggestion that's coming out now?
Okay, so I just told you that we don't say national security, we say National Security Secretariat. So when the office got there, I told you we will come to search when there's prosecution on the table or you have come under investigation. What they picked from the house was a monitoring device. And that monitoring device could monitor things far beyond the premises of the governor.
A monitoring device?
Yes, a monitoring device, which then confirmed that it is a surveillance on the premises on the Bank of Ghana. Now, there's a difference between eavesdropping and a surveillance activity, or we call it wiretapping. So the wires that they were showing in security intelligence or investigations or crime, that is what we call wiretapping. And now when you want to do surveillance and you want to do monitoring beyond your premises, you will need a statutory law backing it, or you will need an approval. To the extent that in this particular case, if it has been proven that he did not get approval to surveil or to mass surveillance on Bank of Ghana, then that is a crime. Now, it has also become a pageant in Africa, predominantly, that government appointees at higher levels or government politicians have all wired their offices and wired their homes. The question now they need to be asking is that, did he do it when he was a governor, and when he left he has forgotten to dismantle it? Or did he do it because he was asked to go, or he left himself and another person has taken over? What is the motive and what is the reason? Of the two scenarios, none of them is applicable within the ethics of the rules of the game or becoming a government employee. Because even with the BNI, before we mass surveillance electronically, we will need statutory approval. And to the extent that those things were not done, he has gone beyond the remit of just a monitoring device in his house. And that is where the crime is. And I told you, searchers will go specifically for what they are searching for or what they are looking to see. And to the extent that they went for that device, they won't come out to tell you the actual truth. But that is why they went to the house. And with over 28 years in this business and knowing what I know, I can tell you for a fact that they went for that device, and that was the target for the search.
Would that end the matter?
Okay, so you remember I have always cautioned for the past 10 years or 14 years. I have been cautioning that politicians should stop speaking for security operations. What happened is that the Deputy Attorney General came out to say in an interview that they were responsible for the search warrant. Now, you may have a search warrant, which I explained that is the first line of due diligence. But in conformity with the search, the Attorney General do not have control over who constitutes the search team and how the search was done and how the outcome was arrived at. So he was only responsible and taking responsibility for the search warrant. To that extent, this is a National Security Agency unit assignment. I want to believe that because he's the one who defends the state. If the state is sued, then he will speak for the state. And if the state wants to go for prosecution, which will also be one of the reasons why you will want to search a crime area, then I think they should go ahead and prosecute charges. Because what he did from all length and breadth and from professional point of view, if you take away NDC NPP politics, it is a crime and he needed to be punished.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
Mr. KUMADOE is a fraud and security consultant to join us this morning for a conversation on this matter. Few things to do. One, let's talk to you about Forum Bar and Grill.